St. Mary's Church, Wood Street, 1911. The first St. Mary's Church in Bristol was located where the parking lot next to Golia's Market is today. It was a wooden church built in 1855 and was the first Catholic church in Bristol. It was later used as a parochial school but burned down in the 1950s. Two houses that had been on this corner were moved down the street in order to make room for this new church. Some of the architectural features are the Gothic windows above the door and the tower at the top of the church. Wood Street was laid out in the 1840s. It was part of the original 1680 town plan, but was a rough dirt street with scattered houses and buildings, including some that were in the middle of the street until the 1840s. This part of Bristol was home to a thriving African American community called New Goree. Many of the New Goree houses were moved to make room for the National Rubber Company in 1864. 417 Wood Street was believed to be the church and school for the New Goree neighborhood in the 1800s. It was located in the middle of Wood Street and was moved to its current location when the National Rubber Mill was built. The National India Rubber Mill, located at 530 Wood Street, built in 1864. The stone building was the main mill building. The red brick buildings were continually added on throughout the lifetime of the mill. Augustus O. Bourne originally built the National Rubber Company. Then the National India Rubber Company was owned by Colonel Samuel P. Colt. Later, it became the United States Rubber Company, and finally, the Kaiser Aluminum Company. The Franklin Court housing area was restored in the 1990s. Note the arch above the door with the keystone, and on the top of the building, you'll see a cupola. Maria Hazard's house, located at 495 Wood Street, was built in the 1820s. Maria Hazard, an African-American woman living in New Goree, wouldn't sell her house when the factory builders wanted to expand. Eventually, she was granted 3 lots across the street from the factory, and her house was moved. Her father was a freed slave. Hazard's Lane was where the entrance to the mill courtyard is today. Note the transom window above the front door that shows the door's original width.